I'm Barbara Roomer, and I volunteer here at the Carmel Clay Historical Society. We're on 211 First Street Northwest in Carmel. The depot behind me was originally placed up near the tracks, which has turned into the trail. Built in 1883, so it's one of the older buildings still standing in Carmel. In 1980, it was remodeled and set back where it is today. So it is in really good shape since it's really been taken care of, and it was remodeled by the people who founded the Carmel Clay Historical Society. This is a drawing of several school children, young school children. The girl that's pictured here in the center is Olive Bruner. She grew up in Carmel, lived on North Range Line Road. When she became an adult, she was a teacher. She started teaching in elementary school. She eventually became a home ec or teacher and taught food, science, and clothing and so forth at Carmel High School. And then the senior girls, when they first started having lunch at Carmel High School, her senior girls, and sometimes helped by some of the senior boys, would prepare the lunches for the students. And she bought some of the first gas ranges or cooking stoves, and we actually have those manuals. She saved so many things from her career, and they were all donated to the depot after she passed away. So she was quite an integral part of Carmel High School. Items that you see here were attendance records kept by an early teacher. Actually, it was the uncle of Olive Bruner. It was Calvin Cook. These records are from 1861 to 1877, where he kept attendance records of his students. He taught at the Quaker school. It's called Richland School because the first Quaker meeting house was called Richland. And Quakers settled this area primarily, followed by the Methodists. And the Quakers had the first public school. So even before Carmel itself had a public school, the Quakers built a school on the north end of Carmel. And these are records from that school. The clothing, we have a great clothing collection left to us by the Olive Bruner. This is one of the dresses that a teacher might have worn in the classroom. And we have some school desks here of many, many years ago. We even have a double desk where two children would have sat together. And we have slates. Before they had a lot of paper, they had slates. And now we made some of our time periods may be mixed up in the display here because they probably wouldn't have slates with this type of desk. But these are all remnants of the past. Once Carmel High School was built on the site on West Main Street, I believe in 1921, Olive Bruner taught there, and we have several pictures of the old high school. In fact, one here shows just a portion of the school, but with many children and their teachers out in front of the school. And it was not only Carmel High School at some point, but all children went there until they started building the elementary schools in town. At the front of the room we have the blackboard and some old maps like you might have seen back in the early 1920s, 30s, and so forth. Several other schools were built in Carmel, and this is Clay Center School. It was built for the school year 1911-1912, and it was 116th Street and Clay Center Road. So it was in operation up through the 60s. This school was Carmel Schools in the late 1800s. It was very near to where the Carmel Methodist Church is now, just about a block east of Range Line Road and maybe a block or so south or north of Circle Center Drive or 126th Street. At that time, the students said they could walk into town. As we know now, that area is part of the main part of Carmel, but at that point it looked like it was on a little hill, and the students could walk back 3 or 4 blocks into the main part of Carmel, which they called town. So they thought they were in a country outside of Carmel.